The galactic research vessel Starseeker floated quietly above Earth. Lights blinked across its hull as Data scanned the blue planet below. Inside the command chamber, Commander Veltar stood still, arms behind his back, eyes fixed on the glowing map. Class 15 Deathworld, he muttered, his voice sharp, but also labeled Nursery Planet. That didn't make sense. Deathworlds were planets filled with danger, poisonous air, violent creatures, extreme weather. Only the strongest species dared to go near them. Nursery planets were the opposites, safe.com, perfect for raising children. Veltar had seen many planets, but never one with both labels. His ship lowered through Earth's clouds. The scanners picked up strange signs, wild energy levels, shifting temperatures, and massive life forms roaming freely. Alarms beeped softly, then silence. Outside the window, on a green open field, he saw something that made all four of his eyes widen. A small human child, no older than 6, was laughing. She ran through tall grass, chasing something. Behind her, a creature the size of a war tank followed. It had razor-sharp claws, glowing eyes, and armor-like skin. It roared. Veltar reached for the emergency button, but the child just turned, waved, and shouted, "Come on, Slowpoke!" The beast growled once and followed like a pet. Veltar stepped back from the window, his voice shaking. "This is not a mistake," he whispered. "This planet is madness," and his investigation had just begun. Commander Veltar stood on the edge of the landing zone, his boots sinking slightly into Earth's soft soil. Around him, the air was thick with strange smells, wildflowers, damp earth. Primal Data security drones hovered at his side, scanners blinking red. The planet's surface was beautiful, yes, but deadly. Every file said Earth was chaos. But now he had seen something that changed everything. A small human child playing. With a living weapon, he tapped his communicator. "Send out Survey Unit 1. I want eyes on that child and the creature." The drone zipped forward, moving quietly over the grass. The child sat by a tree, petting the giant beast like it was a household animal. The creature's claws dug deep into the dirt. It stood. A low growl rumbled in its chest. The drones froze. The child turned her head slowly. "Don't hurt them," she said softly, placing a small hand on the creature's neck. "They're just watching." The monster relaxed and sat down. Veltar's heart raced. How could a child control a creature like that? He activated his recorder note. Subject appears fearless. Creature responds to emotional tone. No tech control detected. Bond is natural. This wasn't just survival. It was something far deeper, something terrifying. Humans didn't tame monsters. They befriended them. Thick green trees surrounded Survey Unit 2 as it moved deeper into Earth's wild zone, what humans called a national park. The drones floated carefully above the forest floor, scanning every leaf, every noise. Commander Veltar watched from the command screen. "Proceed with caution," he said. "This forest is marked extremely hostile. No contact with humans." Yet then, without warning, one drone's screen went black. Unit 2, respond. Veltar barked, static. The second drone spun wildly. Vines thick, dark, and covered in thorns had slithered up from the ground. They moved like snakes, coiling fast. The drone tried to fly higher, but it was too late. The vines pulled it down. Metal cracked. Sparks flew. The screen cut to black. Cursed under his breath, that forest had just killed 2 advanced alien drones in seconds. It was alive in a way no science could explain. But just then, another feed came online. A young human boy, maybe 10 years old, walked through the same forest, alone, whistling, wearing a backpack and a wide smile. He stepped over the broken drones without even looking. Heading to Grandma's, he said to himself, brushing a glowing vine away with a stick. The vine hissed, then slithered back like a scolded pet. Veltar stared in shock. The forest killed machines, but not humans, no. The planet wasn't trying to destroy them. It was shaping them, and maybe protecting them. Commander Veltar's shuttle landed with a soft hiss beside a large white structure hidden deep in Earth's forest zone. It wasn't marked on any galactic map. No signals came from it. Yet the entrance door opened on its own like it had been expecting him. "Welcome to Nursery Outpost 17, said a calm voice from the speakers. It was not human. It was Earth's AI, old, smart, and watching. Veltar stepped inside. His soldiers followed, weapons ready, but what they saw made them freeze. Dozens of small alien children's arms, Falari, Turok, even one Zinth larva were crawling, walking, and laughing across padded floors. Soft lights glowed above. Human caretakers moved gently among them, feeding them, teaching them. Singing. One human woman smiled at Veltar. She napped time soon. They just had jungle walks. Jungle? Veltar asked. You led alien children into Earth's wilderness. Of course, she said. How else do they grow strong? Veltar couldn't speak. These were species known for fear, weakness, or high mortality. Yet here they were alive, healthy, glowing with energy. A Turok child, known for panic in sunlight, ran to Veltar and hugged his leg. Earth nice, humans kind. He looked down in disbelief. This was no ordinary school. This was a training ground hidden in care, a test disguised as love. And suddenly, the nursery label on the galactic map made sense. But so did the Deathworld warning, because Earth wasn't just raising children here, it was forging survivors. Commander. Veltar stood at the edge of a rocky cliff, the wind howling around him. Below, waves slammed against jagged stone. This region was marked high danger, deadly drops, unpredictable weather, and unstable ground. And yet, 3 human children were climbing it, laughing. No safety gear, Veltar muttered. No ropes, no guards. His assistant, a Zarn officer named Kiro, shook his head. This would be considered a death trial on our planet. One of the children slipped. Veltar stepped forward in panic, but the child grabbed a root, pulled himself up, and kept climbing like it was part of the game. Later, Veltar approached them. Why take such risks? The oldest boy looked up at him to see if we're scared. Were you? The boy grinned. A little. That's how you know it's real. Veltar felt a strange chill, not from the wind, but from something deeper. These children weren't avoiding fear. They were chasing it, testing it, learning how to live with it. He recorded a log. Earth children do not fear pain or danger. They treat fear as a teacher, a challenge, no simulations, no safety rooms, just reality. He looked at the mountains in the distance. Dark clouds gathered. Thunder rolled, and still, more children played outside. This wasn't training. This was nature's trial every day, and Earth was watching who passed. The Galactic Council once feared Earth. Now, they send their children there. Commander Veltar sat across from a towering alien, Warlord General Rax of the Zarn Dominion. The Zarn were known for pride, power, and never trusting other species. Yet here he was, handing Veltar a photo, his son smiling beside human children covered in mud, holding a wild animal like a trophy. He was weak, Rax said quietly. Soft, couldn't even pass our training. Then I sent him to Earth. Veltar raised an eyebrow. To a Deathworld, Rax nodded. I thought it would break him, but Earth did something else. It didn't just test him, it changed him. Across the galaxy, similar stories echoed. A Falari diplomat spoke of her shy daughter, who returned from Earth with fire in her eyes. A Turok mother wept with joy. Her sick child had survived Earth's harsh storms, and now outran lightning. It wasn't just survival, it was transformation. Veltar recorded a new entry. Earth is no longer feared. It is respected. It raises the future, stronger, braver, wiser. But he still wondered why did humans risk so much, even with others' young lives? He got his answer that evening. A human caretaker smiled at him and said, We don't hide children from the world. We show them how to face it. Veltar stared out the window as the sun set behind Earth's wild horizon. Maybe this planet wasn't a threat. Maybe it was a gift. Snow whipped through the air like knives as Veltar struggled through the frozen wasteland known as Antarctica. His thermal suit warned of organ shutdown. His soldiers moved slowly, barely able to breathe. The cold was alive, biting, crushing, trying to end them. This place is uninhabitable, one soldier said, teeth chattering. Veltar was about to agree until something colorful zipped past him. A child, a human girl, maybe 12, skating across the ice with no helmet, no armor, just a jacket and a smile. Her cheeks were red, but her eyes sparkled with joy. She waved. Hi, you guys. Lost Veltar could barely form words. "You live here?" "Yep. Field trip," she said. "It's fun," the wind roared. A large white beast of polar predator appeared in the distance. Veltar reached for his blaster. "Don't worry," the girl said calmly. "That one's friendly mostly." She skated away, leaving the alien commander in stunned silence. Later, in the research station, Veltar wrote into his log, "Antarctica is lethal to most species, yet human children visit it for fun. Their idea of challenge is what others call extinction." He looked at a map of Earth. Deserts, volcanoes, jungles, oceans filled with monsters. And humans didn't just survive, they thrived. Earth wasn't protecting its people with comfort. It was sharpening them with chaos, and somehow they smiled through it. Veltar descended into a deep cavern beneath Earth's surface. Somewhere no human map marked, his sensors blinked red. The air was thick with unknown energy. Even the AI voice guiding him fell silent. He was alone. The walls pulsed faintly, as if the rock itself was alive. Strange markings older than any human writing glowed softly. They weren't human, they weren't alien either. Then he saw it, a massive stone chamber, circular, with hundreds of alien symbols carved into the walls. In the center stood a black monolith, humming quietly. Veltar stepped closer. The hum grew louder, deeper. Ancient Dot, his translator, failed. His tech glitched, but his mind somehow understood the message. This world is the trial. Suddenly, images flooded his mind, creatures rising, continents shifting, humans climbing from caves into cities, wars, floods, fire, survival, growth. Every age of Earth was a test, not just for humans, but for whoever dared live here. Veltar fell to his knees. This planet hadn't just shaped life, it had watched, recorded, measured. He gasped. Earth wasn't just dangerous, it was designed to be. Later, as he surfaced, the sun rose over the wild horizon. A group of human teenagers ran past him, laughing. Chasing each other barefoot over sharp rocks, Veltar whispered. They don't even know. Earth was not just a planet, it was a proving ground, and the test was still going. Back aboard his ship, Commander Veltar reviewed every file, every recording. Forests that ate machines, ice that could kill in minutes, creatures that shouldn't exist, and children human and alien laughing through it all. It didn't make sense. Or maybe it did. He opened a file recently recovered from a forgotten military vault. A message from an old human general played on screen. The man's face was weathered, his voice calm. The galaxy calls Earth a Deathworld. That's fair. But it's also a nursery because we don't raise survivors. We raise those who can lead, who can fight, who can rebuild. You want your children to grow strong? Send them here. Veltar leaned back in his chair, stunned. This was never a mistake. Earth had been chosen maybe by nature, maybe by something. Older is a place where strength is forged, not given. A place where kindness walks beside danger. He reviewed footage again. A human child jumping into freezing water to save a drowning. Alien friend. Another one teaching a Zarn child how to start a fire during a thunderstorm. Laughter echoing in a cave full of echoing danger. These were not ordinary children. These were future warriors, leaders, survivors. And Earth was their training ground. Whispered into his recorder, this nursery doesn't raise the soft. It raises the ones who will protect the galaxy when the stars fall. The Deathworld was not a curse, it was a gift, wrapped in storm and fire. The Galactic Council gathered in silence as Commander Veltar stood before them. Dozens of species watched, their expressions tight with fear, curiosity, or disbelief. He placed a single object on the tabula stone, small, rough, taken from Earth's deep caverns, but it pulsed with ancient energy. Then he spoke. Earth is not just a planet. It is not just a Deathworld or a nursery. It is the forge where the galaxy's future is shaped. Gasps echoed across the chamber. Veltar continued, voice steady. I saw children laugh in jungles that kill machines. I saw them lead, protect, and grow in storms that break armies. Earth does not shelter the weak. It teaches them to rise. The Zarn diplomat stood up. Are you saying we should trust Earth with our young? Veltar nodded. You already do. He showed footage Jellian children surviving, thriving, learning beside humans, running through deserts, swimming in oceans, fighting off predators. Helping each other? But why Earth? Another counselor asked. Why would this world do this? Veltar paused, then said one line that shook the chamber. Because one day, something worse than war will come, and Earth is preparing us for it. Silence. Then, slowly, the council began to understand. Earth wasn't an accident. It was a warning, a promise, a preparation. And in that moment, the title on the galactic map changed from Class 1-5, Deathworld Nursery, to something new. Earth, the cradle of resilience, and the galaxy began to listen.